And how many I am counting? Like 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I could burn the maple syrup or two. If I need it. If I need item space. Alright. I guess I get Cooper out here for the Dizzy Shell. Plus, I can also do this. It's not as quite as good as Bound Bet, but not easy. Not me. I've never spoke before. Oh. Well, maybe not voice. I know there was email. Maybe there was some other post carrier, but I know there was emails, not necessarily voicemails, on other podcasts that people talk about, like how much mileage they can get just with walking during work and all that. So I wasn't necessarily saying that I recognize you as much as I'm saying that it sounds familiar. So I was just kind of curious if maybe that was you and I was just forgetting because it's been that long. Alright. Yeah, Dizzy Shell's kind of busted though. The fact that I can just stun practically anything on the ground and not even worry about taking damage for that time frame. I stay near DJ Mojo if you know him. Not personally, but like, yeah, like I'm getting really weird flashbacks to Pokemon Go in general. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a story someone had for one of the podcasts. Like, when I say podcast, I'm thinking of between Pokemon Go Radio, Pokemon Go podcast, and GoCast. That's the third one. It's kind of... this is probably the only time we get to bring it up anyways, but ironically enough, I feel like I've been listening to Pokemon Go Radio more now that they rebranded as bonus episode than back when they talked about Pokemon Go specifically. That's kind of what I mean, just of how I fell off for... That's kind of what I mean of how I fell off Pokemon Go. Just like, I've actually been enjoying bonus episode more. Now that they're just talking about literally anything. I'll admit there's been a lot of episodes that I had to skip just because of spoilers. But it still kind of feels like it was just by pure luck that I happened to listen to the one episode that they mentioned that they were going to stop talking about Pokemon Go Radio in particular. It's kind of been a weird week for podcasts for me in general, because, like, normally I would at least keep up with that, but I haven't got around all week to actually listening to that. I'll probably do that tomorrow at work, listen to the latest bonus episode, ironically enough, Pokemon Go. I mean, I'm curious what they've been up to for GoFest. Like, I don't want to talk about GoFest too much, because feelings. But it's been so long since I've heard them talk about it, and I care about Pokemon Go just enough that I don't mind listening to it every now and then. So there's all that in the mix. Oh, I should have probably focused or refreshed or something. Like, do something to use up that star power. Hindsight's 2020. I mean, there's gotta have been some good opportunities to use bow that I haven't really got around to. Also, while I have been just breezing through these so quickly, speaking of breezing through quickly, yeah, I think this is going to be the point where I kind of wish I had partners that actually, yikes, actually change the plan. I think I'll do just an... change of all the plans. Who do I even have that can get through these enemies? I think we can still work this out, but because like Goombario can't jump on them. Parakarry can't do the little squat. Bombette just gets blown out. I guess Cooper can Dizzy Shell them. And that can buy me time to charge up and all that, I suppose. So let's just get one more refresh up here, just so we got something to work with. I mean, Cooper is fully upgraded. I know Fire Shell won't work because the way these enemies go, but I should at least get... Okay, that was more than enough. How does a normal shell toss work? Okay, we're in this. We may only be doing 1 damage, but we are doing something. Nice. Kind of wondering if I should just skip this turn, try to get a refresh. If I hit Goombario out here, I can at least waste my turn tattling, but I'll just go for it as is. I assume you've... While I'm thinking of it, if you're still here, I assume you've heard the news of the certain Pokemon that's gotten the cowboy hat. And first thought that comes to mind is it's kind of funny that... it's kind of a little poetic to just how I feel about Niantic lately. Of just... It's what you've all been waiting for, is a Pokemon with a... Sorry, I got a mash here. It's a Pokemon with a cowboy hat, and we know you've wanted something like this for a very long time. It's Snorlax. God, like, it got intentional. Like, a cowboy hat. It's not even like they're doing a cowboy or Western theme for that Go Fest. They had to know the meme. It couldn't have just come from nowhere. They had to know the meme, and for some reason decided to give the Snorlax later. Like, what sort of correlation is there between Snorlax and Cowboy anyways? Like, first thought, I do have an idea, but it's a joke that I'm not sure would actually be that funny, so I'm just gonna cut myself off there. But it's just the whole concept of Cowboy hat Snorlax amuses me in multiple ways. No, maybe just leave it at that. Okay. Man, this would be a good time for multi-bounce. But, like, despite all the RNG and all the chests I've got so far, for some reason, multi-bounce hasn't been in the priority of things for the game to give me. Let's see. Yeah, I can get for this damage list even if I wanted to. So, you know what? Let's go for a little refresh, get a little bit of FP, and try to get that star power back with a few stylishes along the way. No, excuse me. Kinda glad it's been going as smoothly as it is. Like, it's kinda nuts. We're already at floor 50. Or at least almost really close to floor 50, and it hasn't even been an hour long yet. I assume things are going to slow down in the back half, because everything's only going to get tougher as time goes on. But I'm kind of like starting to see why Classic Pit does not have... Why Classic Pit has... Oh shoot, I tried to do the fancy thing and get the early stylish. I just botched everything up in the process. I should stick to the ones I know. Okay, that's cool though. We can get for this damage list, which is more money for me, which more money just means more opportunities to do more things as far as I'm concerned. I mean, like, I kind of wish I had a better way to grind FP without using my items though, because refresh, like, I guess I have these maple syrups I can use at any time, but I'm kind of just gonna be stingy until I'm at a point where I have room for literally nothing else. Okay, so that's a good air. We got a full 3 FP. It'll definitely allow me to take care of 2 enemies at once, though. Yeah, let's go for it. And I should go for these hammers when I can, because the style is just easier. Oh, Husunian forms. I completely missed that news, to be perfectly honest. If you want, since we were looking for an example of, like, me just not being in touch at the most random times, this is the first I'm hearing about Husunian forms. So that's kind of cool. Like, Legend, I kind of been iffy about Pokemon in general, but I've actually had a lot of fun with Pokemon Legends, so it's nice to see that getting love. And I guess it's been a bit. We had Husini. I just remember we had Husini and Voltorb for a while. Like, is it an event in particular, or is it just like, oh, it's technically Go Fest. We're gonna throw all the fancy special sauce at everything we can to make these events as special as possible. 27th. I'll keep that in mind. And I guess, like, off stream I can, like, Google around. If I'm lucky, it'll be right on the app, but if not, like, the internet exists for a reason. The internet's a vast and wonderful place with lots to do. Okay, this would be a good time to see if I have a spiked shield badge, or, like, literally anything that would handle these enemies better than I already have. Guess I don't need group focus for this battle, at least. This at least gives me an out, if nothing else, but I was doing one damage to them per normal, so I might just try to save the energy. Oh, I had a fire shield on this entire time. I wasn't using it. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna throw that back on because I might actually start taking damage. I feel like I'm gonna get hurt at least once in this fight. Who would be my best option? I'm kind of leaning towards Cooper just because of the... Oh yeah, Cooper does 1 HP to them too. Forgot about that. It's an event... Oh, it's like a GoFest Ultra unlock. Right. Speaking of which, like, oh man. I am still salty I missed out on the global research thing. Like, I bought the ticket, and yet I wasn't able to do diddly squat. Like, I did not really feel like I got anything too worthwhile. I kind of still... It's like, it feels like the more time that's gone past Go Fest, the less fondly I remember the global Go Fest. So, of course, like, the global unlock, the one thing that was free, they do something really cool that I would have actually loved to do, and I completely forgot about it, because, like, I know I read the Adventure Week article, but it was kind of just buried in there so much, just like at the very bottom of the fine print or whatever, that I completely missed out on the detail that there was an Ultra unlock for that Go Fest, or for Adventure Week, and that it was a literal research day. And I totally could have gone out, actually played, and get all the new Pokemon, all the shinies. Like, I don't even have enough candies to evolve the Cranials and the other Gen 5 evolve, even though they were all supposedly all over the place because I missed out on that Ultra Unlock thing completely. And just like, that research day sounded like it was more fun than all the fun I had the entire 2 days of Go Fest. And that's the biggest reason why I'm so salty. It's not even a matter of whether or not Go Fest itself was good or not. It's the fact that I missed out on something that I know I would have had more fun with and was free. And yet I paid all that money for the actual ticket when I was doing perfectly fine as a free-to-play player to that point where I haven't bought any coins or do a single paid event since the previous year's Go Fest. Alright, let's see if there's anything good in here before I get down that tangent. Like 190 coins for a sleepy sheep. Who would buy that? Still have that dizzy dial I gotta use up. It reminds me. Well, I mean, better late than never for Power Smash, I guess. This seems as good a thing as any to use that 1 FP on. Yeah, HP isn't looking quite too fondly. Should probably get that dust topped off eventually. Maybe I should have that Fire Shield badge back on. Forgot that we're already at this point. Well, I haven't really been using Dizzy Attack. I guess I could throw that on for one fight. I'm gonna have to get rid of this eventually, but man, just randomly missing is a nice. It's something nice I can't deny. Oh, and there's a full school of them too. Cool. Yeah, I guess I'll Dizzy Shell. It'll buy me time to refresh and get all the other stuff. You feel yourself falling away from the game. I get the feeling that more for people in main cities or places with a lot of stop and gyms. And that's kind of what I mean about the game starting to feel like it's 2017 again. Not necessarily in a bad way. Like, that's exactly what they were going for back then, where before they really started pushing the whole we can bring people together without, even if they're not directly together in person kind of vibe. Well, let me get a refresh on here before I forget. But yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, they kind of feel that the world is safe, so they're trying to push more in-person social interaction, which I can't blame them for, but does suck because not everyone is going to live in a city with a bunch of Pokestops. I can just like walk outside and run into people. Like, I see the things they're doing sometimes, like, it doesn't. Not all the things they're doing are wrong. It just doesn't line up with how I want to play the game for the most part. And part of the reason why it's not part of the way I want to play the game is because I am a bit more of a rural player. I don't live in a city either. Like, it's a solid. I do have a park with like a 10-minute drive, and just like if I were to step outside, it'd just be country fields, and it's kind of like it's like a good 5 minutes just to get to the nearest town, and probably anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to get to anywhere significant, and even then it's not like a huge big city. Don't like it, but that's what's pushing people to spoof again, though. I mean, you're not wrong. I'm not sure of how much attention I want to give that, but you're not wrong. It's kind of like, as long as they try to push that sort of thing, like, it's gonna come up again. Well, I kind of was hoping Disney Show would work on more things. I guess I'll wait to get hit once. That way I can at least get a little more HP out of that refresh. Or I could just dodge it like a pro. That's an option too, I suppose. There's that 7 BP badge putting in all the work. Yeah, I should really unequip Happy Heart. I didn't even notice it until now, but wow, I'm already back to full HP again. Right, is this gonna be enough to take... It's kind of pushing it, but like it's not like you're gonna be able to attack me right away. I value my HP slightly more. Or I mean, I value my FP a little bit more. I could probably take one hit and be fine. You know, I'm sorry, it took me a minute, but it just finally clicked to me that when you said IMO, you mean in my opinion. I have this weird thing where I thought I gotten over it, but I have this weird thing where I think IMO is like an alteration on LOL. Like I think of it as a laugh rather than in my opinion. And I had to train my brain all these years to actually remind myself what it actually means. And here I am actually needing to take all that practice and all that skill, put it into execution, and the one time that it matters, I forget. I fall into that trap again. LMO is probably one. That's probably how I got in that. That's probably how I got in that habit. Cool. You know, for science, I've always been curious of if this does anything to fire enemies. And I need that B out of the picture, so this is as good a time as any to find out. Okay, I see. Right, it is just a Pokemon. It is a link to the Pokemon Go's website. I'll keep it in mind. I just be careful with posting links on here. I'm cool as long as it's on topic. But I forget if I apparently I don't have bots that watch out for that stuff. But my first thought was to assume it. So just and I guess going forward, just ask me before posting links, just so we have a common rule or ground for anyone that comes in and out. And you know what? If I'm gonna just get random maple syrup drops, then I don't see any reason not to use it up. Anyways, yeah, I will take a look at that link after the stream and check out the details for the GoFest Ultra Lock thing myself. You got a special raid date on the 30th. Oh, do you really want me to talk about raids? Or do we want to just jump back a second to that topic of Niantic appealing to city players more and just jump back to... You know what? I'm going for it. Let's take a minute to talk about raids. The shortened version of the story is I don't raid anymore. Like, I don't think I've done a tier 5 raid in months. And even then, like, it's always... I have not seen another I have not raided with other people in person in forever. And it's always been thanks to, like, all the people that I've met between the podcast communities and all that really, like, saved my bacon in getting some legendaries I have. But there's also been plenty of legendaries that I missed. And that's, like, half the reason why I don't really care about the Pokedex anymore. Because I know that the people that I play with, I don't see anymore. So it's literally impossible for me to do a legendary raid unless I get lucky. And there's people on my friends list that are online that actually accept the invite when I send it. Oh, that didn't put me to sleep? I'll consider myself lucky. You know what? Not sure if this is the most optimal time to do a refresh, but I am full on star power. Might as well get it out of my system now. Alright. Oh shoot. I pressed the button too early for the stylish. Okay, bye! I won't be missing ya. Jeez, like... Now I'm getting maple syrups like they're, I don't know, candy or something. Remember, and I'm full on FP when I was just saying, I'll just use the maple, I'll just hoard it maple syrup until I get too many items, and then just get them, like, you know, I have, like, plenty of FP recovery to go around. You know, I should really get Cooper out of here and get someone like Bo in the picture. Just so use the quick change, though, that's, like... Are you low enough to get hit by a Power Shell? You are. Is Power Shell actually going to finish you off, though? No, it does not. And it doesn't even finish off the other... This might be the most optimal use for Spin Smash. Like, I would have preferred to take out the Bee rather than Magic Koopa, but at least I'm taking out 2 enemies at once. Again, probably has more to do with work time changing. Yeah, I guess that could be a dilemma if, like, you're relying on a group of people being out at a certain time and they're no longer out at that time. I could see how that could be an issue. Man, if only I had a partner that could actually jump out. You know what, because I should do this on the overworld, but I never seem to do. We'll just do it now and be ready for the next battle, I suppose. And that's like part of it too. Like, one thing I've been meaning to get back into related to Pokemon Go that I just haven't been able to do is spotlight hours. Like, it used to be something I got in the habit of just on my drive home from work, instead of heading straight home, I would stop by a park that was along the way, catch a few wild Pokemon. I think I still have the Flame Shield badge on, and just like take a moment to just go for a nice walk during spotlight hour, and it's a fun time. And just like you think, like, since I'm home and have more time, it'd be easier to do spotlight hours, but it's like, no, I'm already home, so I'm not really as inclined to actually leave the house just to go to a park, even though the park is probably in a more convenient area. Like, the park is technically closer to home than... It's in some ways you would think it'd be more convenient. Maybe Bo's not the best partner for this chapter after all. Well, it's a good thing I came to the station, because it's not like I'm going to be able to use her. I mean, I'm saying... What am I trying to say? Like, the park is fairly close to home, so you think it wouldn't be that hard to do, but it's just like... When you're literally driving to it on the way home, I guess it feels less convenient. That's a shame that you have to work during the spotlight hour. At least nice thing about spotlight hours is that compared to everything else in Pokemon Go, it's so inconsequential that you don't feel as bad for missing it out. And I think that's like half the reason why it's been so easy to just skip them, because like I'm already home and there's other things I can do. That's like part of it. Like I think part of my fall from Pokemon Go isn't even Pokemon Go itself. I mean, Pokemon Go, the community, and other factors relating to Pokemon Go are certainly part of it, but part of it too is just like I picked up other passions, other things I wanted to revisit for a long time, and I'm finally getting back into, like getting the Golden Sun stuff. Like, I'm having fun doing streams of games like this, and even dabble a little into this sort of modification twist on classes and games thing myself. Like, I have a lot of interest in game design, but like, despite going to school for it and all this stuff, the programming part just doesn't click in my brain as it thought. But like, with a couple games like this and Golden Sun, the tools to actually mod have been so accessible to me that I just like cave in. Like, I'm like, screw it. My dream game isn't gonna happen, and if I can't literally program my dream game, maybe I can at least come close to making it in some other fashion. So I have picked up on like a little bit of modding for games like this and Golden Sun myself. Still don't have a shiny star U, and I missed it yesterday. The spotlight hour. Yes, that's what spotlight hour yesterday was. I was gonna at least pick up my phone after work, but I got distracted by something. I think it was just a day where I just needed a break in general. So that was the day I've just spent playing Golden Sun the entire time. Wow, I actually got the block for that. Incredible. No, why not? You know, let's be efficient with our star power game. Get the stylish on this first. And it feels like a waste of FP. But it's the only way I can attack him, so I'll just go with that too. Oh! Because yeah, that would have one-shot, but then I wouldn't have gotten the stylish with Mario. Oh! It's that type of stylish. And I think like after this floor we get, do we get sushi after this floor? It's been a bit since I've even seen a playthrough of Black Pit, so I don't remember exactly what floors the partners unlock in Classic. Speaking of which, I probably don't need Fire Shield for this fight, so let's get group focus. If anything, that'll allow me to just keep spamming. Yeah. And I think like half... Yeah, I definitely am enjoying other games more. I kind of call it a midlife crisis more than enjoying, though, because it's like... The games that I'm really getting into lately are games that I already played, but came out in my childhood. Like, Paper Mario's a good example. Like, it's... I'll admit, like, I'm not as vocal about... At least before I got into the whole modding thing, I wasn't as vocal about Paper Mario as I was about some of my other favorite gaming series. So, but like Golden Sun in particular, man, I just been all over that game, in and out, playing every version and alteration of it as possible. It's like I don't normally watch live streams based on the game. I normally just watch them based on people that I already follow and enjoy, but this year in particular, I've actually started following the Golden Sun category in particular, and just like scout out whenever someone's doing a blind playthrough of the game and just go watch that. Part of it, the main reason I picked it up was because I had a lot of passion to actually make. Like, my dream game borrows a lot of elements from Golden Sun, so I like watching blind playthroughs of games like that because I can like watch their reaction to certain things and take all that in. I can basically take in how people play for the game, see where they get stumped, where they don't, and come to better understanding of what the game does right and what the game does wrong. And I'm really interested in that in particular, with the hopes that if I ever get around to making a game similar, that I can learn lessons from the mistakes my favorite game make. So when I eventually make something similar, I can learn from those mistakes and improve on them. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Golden Sun head. It's a GBA RPG. Came out pretty much early on in the game's life cycle. I'm gonna wait for you to respond and actually see if you've heard of it before. Like, if your Golden Sun is, oh, you know Golden Sun, or is it, oh, what is Golden Sun? And then I'll save you a little breath if you already know the basics of it. You know what? This could come in a pinch. I got money to burn. That's fair. Like, again, it was a GBA game that came out at launch. And, like, where do I even start?